Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Lee in your Secondary Mathematics 2 class. Today we'll be talking about triangle congruence theorems. So what information do we need to know if triangles are congruent? There are 4 theorems that we will talk about. One is side, angle, side. Another is side, side, side. We have angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Let's look at each theorem more in depth. First, let's talk about side, angle, side. This is where when we are given 2 triangles, we are shown 2 sides on each triangle that are congruent to the corresponding side, and the angles between these sides are also marked as congruent. The next theorem is side, 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 and this is where each triangle's side is congruent to the corresponding side of the other triangle, meaning all 3 sides are congruent on both triangles. With angle, side, angle, we are given 2 angles on each triangle that are marked as congruent to the corresponding angle, and the side in between these angles is also marked as congruent. So we have an angle, the side in between, and the other angle. The last theorem we'll talk about today is angle, angle, side. And this is where we are shown 2 angles that are congruent to the corresponding angles of the second triangle, and a side is marked congruent that is not in between these angles. So we're given an angle, and then a side not in between. That is a lot of information to work with, so let's work through an example together. Suppose we were given this picture of 2 triangles. Right away we know that side AB is congruent to DC by those tick marks, and angle A is congruent to angle C. But what else do we know? Well, if we think about the angle theorems we've learned in class the past few weeks, we might also notice that at point E there are 2 intersecting lines, meaning we have vertical angles, which means that those angles are congruent. So we have an angle, and a side, therefore these triangles are congruent. Nice job, class. Let's work through some more problems together in groups. But remember that if we know these 4 theorems and we remember our angle theorems from class, we can determine if triangles are congruent.